hi, super smart second graders. I wanted to do that little tongue twister to get us started, like bigger bottom borrow and super smart second graders, just to mess with you a little bit. All right, boys and girls, we have just made math a teeny little bit harder. Not too much, not anything that you can't handle. Let's look at what is different today than earlier in the week. I'm noticing that we have a 2-digit number, meaning there's a digit in the tens place and the ones place. So we have a 2-digit number on top and a 2-digit number on the bottom, where we used to only have a 1-digit number. So I don't think that it got too much harder, but we're going to have to be really careful that when we go to do that subtraction, we're not skipping any numbers. All right, well, I'll start with number 1 and maybe I'll leave you the harder one again. All right, I'm thinking bigger bottom borrow in my head. I'm in luck again. My number on the bottom is smaller, and so I do not have to borrow. All right, 7 minus 5, I have that fact memorized from Reflex, is 2. I'm done with the ones column. I can go right over to the tens column. 3 minus 1, I also know that fact, is 2. So my final answer for number 1 is 22. That wasn't too bad at all.
You're super smart, that's why.
I do feel super smart, but I gave you a harder problem.
Now you guys know why Reflex is so important. Miss Marquardt doesn't even have to use her fingers or count in her head, because now that we're on to harder math, all these little easy subtraction problems are memorized.
Oh yeah.
That's helping you out.
It sure is.
Yes. All right, let's take a look at the second problem. We have 50 minus 13, and as always, we've got to start in the ones column. So I'm looking at the 0 minus 3, and I'm going to ask myself, bigger bottom borrow. Is the bigger bottom number, I can't do it. Is the bottom number bigger?
Yeah,
It is bigger, which means I need to borrow. So I'm going to go next door, and I'm not borrowing from this bottom number, you guys.
Oh.
You always borrow from the top number because that's the bigger number. So we're going to go over to the very highest number in Mr. 10's house, which is a 5, and ask him if he can give us one of his groups of 10, the 5 groups of 10. He says yes, he's willing to give it to us. So as always, I'm going to cross out this number and just make it 1 less because he's giving us one of his. So I'm going to turn it into a 4 up here, and then I'm going to take that group of 10 and add it to my top number on the ones column. That is going to make my top number bigger, which is what we want to subtract. So we're going to smush together 0 plus 10, which is 10, and I'm going to write that answer up here in my ones added. Now we can do the easy part, which is just subtraction. Okay, we've set up our problem correctly. Make sure you guys aren't skipping any of these steps and just trying to do it in your head. It's really important to show your work. 10 minus 3. That is a definite fact that Reflex has taught me over the years. And I know that 10 minus 3 is 7.
Sure is.
Okay, now we're over here in our tens column, and I actually have 2 numbers. I've crossed out the 5. We are no longer working with the 5. It's done. All we have is a 4 and a 1. So I'm going to take 4 minus 1, and I know that that is a 3. So my answer is 37.
All right.
So that's what you're doing the whole time. The only thing that's changed from yesterday, like you said, is that you're subtracting a number over here now.
Yep.
Miss Margaret's going to turn the page over and explain to you the word problem on the back.
All right, so at the top of the page, there's just more problems like we saw on the front of the page. But at the very bottom, this question got a little bit tricky, so I wanted to make sure that we at least have it set up correctly, and then you can solve. It says Jamal has 54 marbles. Lucas has 70 marbles. I wonder which Lucas it is.
There's 3 to choose from in our grade level, so it could be any one of them.
How much more marbles does Lucas have than Jamal? Well, I'll tell you what. I already know that we're dealing with the numbers 54 and 70. And I also know that these keywords, much, more, and than, refer to a subtraction problem. So we already have the houses set up for you and the subtraction sentence. Here's the tricky part. They started with the smaller number on the top, and they have the larger number here. you cannot subtract 54 minus 70. So if you were to take these two numbers and write them over here exactly the way that they were written, you would get the wrong answer. You wouldn't be able to subtract. Instead, we really need to put the number 70 at the top of the problem because it's bigger. Would you mind showing us that?
Yes. And we're not writing it in the attic. We're writing it
no.
right below the attic.
Good. And then below that, we're going to subtract 54. That's going to help us find the difference or how many more marbles Lucas has than Jamal. So that's just a quick little tip, and I think we're going to know if they watch this video.
If they flip those numbers. Because you know what? You will learn that it is possible to do 54 minus 70, not until 5th grade when you learn about integers and negative numbers.
Oh.
You're 7 and 8, you're in 2nd grade, we're not going to do that to you yet.
Negative.
So, yeah.
There's
There's negative numbers,
Oh.
but they're not ready for that yet. Right now we're
Okay.
going to stick with the regular old positive
Okay.
numbers, and we got to always subtract with the big daddy on top.
Okay.
So,
Big guy.
I like 2nd grade.
yeah, me too.
Let's stay here.
So much easier.
All right. Good luck, guys.